Hello everybody, it's Huddy Lou. So I am here because I wanted to do a separate video on the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. I just got it in today. I've been working with it for a few hours. It's by Ethany and the artist's name is James Fenner. James Fenner, you are an incredible artist. This is a beautiful deck. When I saw this packaging in person, I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. To be honest, when I was looking at previews of this deck, I didn't know if I was going to like it. I honestly felt like I was going to get it and I was going to probably rehome it or resell it. But when I got it in my hands, it's a whole different, it was a game changer. Seeing the detail on the packaging, seeing the detail on the cards, the quality of the cards, the quality of the packaging is beautiful. There's like this little foam, this little strap thingy. I like how it has this little card saying it's the first edition, limited print run. So I feel really proud that I have this deck. And then there's like this book. So this is one of the cards that I didn't care for. If you watched my content for a long time, you know that this is usually not my aesthetic. I don't really care for modern decks, but lately I've been really surprised with modern decks, like the Cozy Witch Tarot. This deck kind of gave me that feel of the Cozy Witch Tarot because it feels very seasonal, like a fallish deck. But maybe my taste is changing. I don't know. Or either this artist is amazing. The quality that Ethany chose for this deck is really beautiful. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this. This is the box. I'm gonna keep this box. These backs are amazing. So it has like these little hints of like purple in there, so it feels very witchy. I could like imagine being in like like a psychic room with a psychic and getting a tarot reading done with these cool cards that just look very cool. But when I got these cards in my hands, I was like, wow, this is incredible. There's so much layers. There's so much color. I really love this Page of Wands. So I didn't know if I was like, my first impression when I saw it on previews, other videos, I didn't know if I liked this because I was like, well, why is she not moving? Why doesn't she look excited? But one thing I do like about this card is that she's very like, she's older. She's like a teen. She's very beautiful. This is my favorite card in the whole wide world, guys. I love this card so much. He brightens my day. Look at how beautiful he is. I love his nose. I love his hair. I love the waves. I love the way his cape is flowing. The detailing, the background, the borders. I didn't know if I was going to like this ribbon, but I love it. And like the size of this deck is perfect, especially with this art style. But this deck is a storyteller deck. It reads really well. I've been reading with it and I'm just like really impressed. The colors, look at how beautiful that is. Look at all the symbolism. It's very profoundly depicted. I don't know how to say that. It's just very profoundly done. The storylines, you could really feel the energy of each card. There's so much feelings. There's so much thought that went into these cards. And I love those swords. I love the way this Four of Swords is depicted with this background. He's just chilling. He's hanging out. He's reflecting. He's by himself. He's getting some rest. He's clearing his mind. Like these cards have so much to say. And it reminds me of home. I could see myself in these cards too. And this reminds me of my dad. My dad is the King of Pentacles. My dad's a little bit bigger like that. Not as big. And I like how it's kind of like the Santa Claus guy. But he's very abundant. He's very wealthy. He enjoys food. He enjoys family. He's enjoying himself. He's just living life to the fullest. He cracked the code. He's a master. But yeah, I think it's very well done. This is one of my favorite cards, the High Priestess. The reason why I wanted to back this card is because I fell in love with the Lovers card. I really like how the swords look in this deck. I love this card. It reminds me of back home with the background. My view in King Cove has a view like this. So we have the mountain like that, we have the ocean, our sunsets and sunrises look like that. I like that she's long and tall. She's very beautiful. Page of Pentacles, I like his little boots. So there was like some faces like this that felt really cartoony, but I'm actually really digging it now that I have it in my hands. I like how there's rain. Look at that color green. I like the way the king or the Queen of Swords is depicted with all the butterflies. That was really crafty and creative. And this one, you could tell they're eating, they're drinking, they're having a good time, enjoying each other's company. This one's beautiful. Look at the background. I was a little bit concerned about like the darkness of this deck too. But once I got it in my hands, it's a deck that you really want to kind of like tone into, and really just kind of absorb what's going on in the cards. It's very potent, very potent. I love this card. It reminds me of my friend Bianca, my best friend. She looks exactly like this girl. We have this thing because her name's Bianca, so we call her Bee and I'm Honey, so bees and honey, you know? So that reminds me of my best friend. I know Ethany has a thing for bees, but that has something for me too. I love this card too. It reminds me of home. This is beautiful too. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this card either because I thought she looked cartoony, but I really like the energy of this card. I love the background with the mermaid. I love the way her dress flows. It's just a very, I don't know, it's just a really beautiful card. The body language, the way her legs are like, you know, kind of her position. I don't know, she just looks very beautiful. This is very creative too. I love the movement. She's very sweet. And I like the butterflies. And this is one of my favorite cards too. This is very creative. And there's so much that you can go off of with this card. It's probably, I don't know, it's really profound and it's one of the best Knight of Cups I've ever seen. Look at the background. I love that background. And her hair, her dress, those swords, the colors. I love this too. Yeah, no, I'm pretty impressed with this deck. I love this Page of Cups. This was another card I was too worried it was going to look cartoony or too like that modern style cartoony kind of. But there's so much detail and there's so much texture. There's so much color. It depicts the Page of Cups for me. This is totally my son Julian. And look at that background. I like this ceiling. You could tell they're collaborating. They're working together. I like the binocs, his cape, the background with the ships. I like this one too. This was another one that I felt like it looked a little bit cartoony as like This Might Hurt Tarot. It reminded me of those kind of characters. And I've heard so much good things about This Might Hurt Tarot, but for some reason I just didn't really care for that cartoony style of cards. And I like how this one's like a challenge. This definitely depicts the Five of Pentacles. You could feel the emotion, the sadness, the coldness. The dead vines are not dead, but they're just like more of like a brown color, which is gives it that extra oomph. So yeah, this is not my favorite face, but this card tells a lot of stories. You know what's going on. You see that he's manifesting. His hand gestures, as above, so below. You see his eyes. His eyes are showing something. So this is the card when I was like, damn, I love this deck. So I put this deck down. I was putting my son to bed for a nap. And I put this card down, or I put this deck down, and then I turned around and looked at it again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this deck. I love this card. And this is why I bought the deck, was because of the lovers. And I love this idea of having it very vulnerable, very like, they're naked. I like the choices of the color of skin because it could symbolize duality, where the feminine is the black and the masculine is the white of the yin and yang. So I like that. I love the crystals. I love the colors. The background, the borders really add something to this card. It's very potent. I like the traditional Adam and Eve depiction. And this one, it's beautiful. There's a frog. Yeah, I really like this deck, and I think I want to get a backup copy of this deck. And look at this. She looks like a warrior. She looks very charismatic. Her body language is very sexy. I like the leopard or the whatever kind of cat that is. But it looks like, she's adaptable. She's comfortable. There's a lot of warmth to this card, but also it's very fierce and powerful. And I like how this Page of Swords depicted with the crows in the back to symbolize the air. I like this fox in the background because, this card could be deceiving. It could be about spying. It could be about deception. And she looks so sweet. She looks so sweet and innocent, but there's that fox. And usually foxes are kind of deceiving. But also, the foxes could symbolize family. But they're both very intelligent. This card's a very intelligent card. In the movement in this deck, you could see there's no movement. It's very peaceful. She's thinking. I like the way the horse looks. I love the background. I love the flowers. She's very beautiful. But this card says a lot to me. And this one's really cute. So much stuff, so much symbolism. There's so much to look at. This is beautiful. That lion looks really nice. I'm not a big fan of like jumper suits, but I could dig this card. It's cool. And the Empress, I wasn't too sure when I saw previews of this card, it wasn't really my favorite either because usually I like to see more color with the Empress. The Empress is my favorite card, but I don't hate this card. And it still is a really good storyteller. It has everything I need. She's very beautiful. I like her gesture. I guess I would like to see more color on the Empress, but overall, it's still a really good card. And look at the waves, the colors, the movement. This is really nice too. It's a cozy deck. This is cool. That definitely depicts the Knight of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards too. This was another reason why I bought the deck. I love that sun. I love that coat. I love her body language. I like how it looks like that she's like kind of breathing in like fresh air. She feels the waves, the flowers. It's a really beautiful card. And this is cute with the braids. The Devil's cool. It's dark. This is probably one of my favorite world cards that I've ever seen. I love her body language. She's really sexy. The coloring, the gesture, her body. Yeah, it's just amazing. So this is one of my favorite cards for sure. I like seeing the highlights on this angel. The people in the background. You could really absorb and just get lost in each of these cards. And this is one of my favorite Ace of Wands ever. This is like a really good way to kind of show the Ace of Wands and what the Ace of Wands means. It's about creative projects, starting, taking that opportunity. Look at the background though. That's amazing. And the castle, yeah, it looks good. I like it. There's just so much detail in the hands too. This is really cute. And the leaves feels very fallish. I love this Six of Cups with the bubbles. That's so cute. It's very beautiful. The bubbles look really nice too. Four of Pentacles, yeah, you could see that. The controlling, the power. So I love both of the Lovers. So I like this with, like, it just adds more with these little doves there with the ribbon. Like, it makes it look even cooler and extra colorful. But I like both of them. I like the idea of having it very vulnerable, but I also really like the way this looks. And I like how their body language is. And I love these swords. I love the background. It really brings out the swords. This color green is amazing. Yeah, I love this deck already. You could definitely tell this is like mastery. He's mastered his craft. It's not really my favorite card, but it says something, so it doesn't really matter. For the most part, I like all of these cards, and I would definitely give this deck a 10 out of 10 for sure. I mean, it's kind of impossible to like every single card, but for the most part, I love all of these cards. I love the horses. This is one of my favorite cards. The background, the house. Look how detailed the horses are. And the flowers with the ribbon, it all works. It works out really well. And this card, I wasn't too sure if I was going to like it because it's very like, it's very dark. It's very cozy. It's very brown. And I was hoping for something a little bit more colorful, but when I have it in my hands, it's very nice. It matches the deck well. This is really nice too. I like her face. I like her gesture. I like the keys. I like the people there. There's like frogs and turtles and lily pads. Wow, that's interesting. This is very nice too. The blending, the texture, the coloring. This is really beautiful too. This is very unique, creative with those waves, the stars, her body language, her nose. I like her face and her body language. And that star is really pretty. This is cute too. Yeah, so I'm obsessed. I love this card too with the Six of Wands, the background. This is definitely like an interesting card to kind of really sit and think about because there's so much you can like think about and the stories. This reminds me of home with this background, with this mountain, the owl, wisdom. The light that's kind of coming from behind him. This is cool. This depicts the Seven of Swords. I like how old he is, and I love the fireworks. I love the Leo sign. I love the dragon. It's like the King of Wands is a unicorn, you know? It's very mysterious. It's very, I don't know, it's very interesting. This would be a fun card to kind of like dig into, dive into, but you could really like put yourself in the cards, which is interesting too because this deck is it's standard tarot size, so it's like small, but it really kind of brings you in. And I love the movement of this Knight of Wands. I love her outfit. It's like you could like read her mind in a way. And you could kind of like hear the horse going in a way. I don't know. It's really cool. I like this desert in the background too. This is nice. It's very calming. But anyways, yeah, I've been trying to film this. I'm obsessed. I love this deck. I'm happy I have it. It's a really beautiful deck. And I'm happy that this deck surprised me. I'm happy I was one of the first people to get this deck. And that's it. I love this card. He's so my favorite. Okay. That's it. Okay, thank you. Bye.